One autumn weekend, a group of friends, Lily, Ben, Marcus, and Sarah, received an invitation for a haunted tour at an old lakeside house known as the Aldridge Estate. The house was said to be beautiful but eerie, isolated on the shores of Lake Whisper. Rumors swirled about the lake, claiming it was cursed, haunted by a spirit that had taken the lives of many who dared to swim in its dark, still waters. Despite the warnings, the friends couldn't resist. They packed their bags, ready for a fun weekend of ghost stories and spooky sights. But as soon as they arrived, they felt an uneasy chill in the air. The tour guide, an older woman named MS, Ruth, greeted them with a strange smile and led them to the house. Her warning words sent a shiver through them. The lake doesn't like strangers. That evening, Ruth told the group the story behind the lake's curse. Years ago, a young woman named Eliza Aldridge had lived in the house. She was known for her beauty and kindness, but was also deeply troubled. Legend said that Eliza had fallen in love with a man from the nearby town, but he betrayed her, choosing another. Heartbroken and vengeful, Eliza had waded into the lake one night and drowned herself under the full moon. Since then, her spirit was said to haunt the lake, luring people to their deaths as revenge for her broken heart. Ruth claimed that the lake was alive that it watched, and that those who dared to look too long at their own reflections would see Eliza's face looking back. And if she appeared, it meant she'd chosen her next victim. The friends laughed nervously, brushing it off as a tale made to scare tourists. But Ruth's final words were unsettling. Once the lake chooses you, there's no escape. Later that night, as the friends relaxed by the lakeside, Marcus looked into the still, dark water and thought he saw a figure standing just below the surface, a woman, her pale face and hollow eyes staring up at him. He blinked, and she was gone. Shaken, he decided to keep it to himself, thinking it was just his imagination. But strange things began to happen. Sarah heard whispers coming from the lake when no one was around. Lily noticed wet footprints leading from the shore up to the house, but found no one there. Ben's phone kept receiving strange static-filled recordings, with faint voices whispering words he couldn't understand. Each night, they all began dreaming of the lake, seeing a shadowy figure beckoning them into the water. The next evening, after another eerie day of sightings and whispers, Ben dared Lily to touch the water. As her fingers skimmed the surface, a freezing chill spread up her arm. She pulled her hand back, but the feeling didn't go away. It was like something had latched onto her, dragging her toward the lake. That night, Lily started acting strange. Her friends noticed her speaking in a low voice, her eyes glazed and distant. She would stare out at the lake for hours, ignoring everyone around her. At one point, Sarah swore she saw Lily's reflection in the water twist into a woman's face, a face with hollow eyes and a twisted smile. Terrified, Ben, Marcus, and Sarah confronted Ruth, begging her to explain. She hesitated, then confessed that Eliza's spirit wasn't just haunting the lake, she wanted someone to take her place. Every few years, someone from the lake's visitors would be chosen to join Eliza in the lake, freeing her spirit but trapping a new soul in its depths. And it seemed Lily was the chosen one. Desperate to save Lily, the friends tried to get her out of the house and away from the lake, but every road they took led them right back to the lake's shore. Ruth warned them that once the lake had chosen someone, it wouldn't let them leave until it claimed its sacrifice. The friends decided to stay awake, watching Lily through the night to prevent her from going to the lake. But at the stroke of midnight, Lily slipped out of bed, her eyes unblinking, her face blank. She moved like she was in a trance, walking slowly down to the water. The friends ran after her, yelling her name, but she kept walking, her feet sinking into the mud as she waded deeper into the water. They tried to pull her back, but an icy force seemed to push them away, dragging Lily farther from shore. Just as Lily's head slipped beneath the water, the figure of Eliza appeared on the lake's surface, her mouth twisted into a satisfied smile. Then, with one last look, she vanished into the water, leaving only a ripple where Lily had disappeared. The next morning, Ben, Marcus, and Sarah sat on the shore, devastated. Just as they began to leave, a figure walked out of the lake. It was Lily, but she seemed different. Her eyes were cold, her face expressionless. She simply looked at her friends and said, "The lake let me go." Relieved but unsettled, they drove back to town in silence. But as days passed, they noticed changes in Lily. She spoke in a low, echoing voice and avoided mirrors, refusing to look at her reflection. Ben caught her staring blankly at a puddle one day, her expression twisted into the same empty, eerie smile that he'd seen on Eliza's face. One night, Ben found a note on his doorstep in Lily's handwriting. It read, "The lake freed me, but now it needs another. Beware your reflection, it's watching, waiting for you." A few weeks later, a new family moved into the house by Lake Whisper. Excited for their haunted tour as they explored the lake, one of them noticed a faint reflection, a pale woman with hollow eyes, staring back from below the surface, her mouth curled in a chilling smile.